A teacher.
You think Nabil thinks a teacher. Okay.
Teacher.
You also think teacher. If someone who reads for a living, they might be like an editor, right? So someone who reads people's books and fixes mistakes, right? So we could say a book editor, a teacher. Good job. We could say, could librarian work for this as well, Ciro?
No, a library only has one room.
Sometimes they might have like a few rooms, but I think a school would have more, right? So do we see how our guesses change based on the facts that we see? So when we uncover more facts, we might change our answer to something that fits all of the facts. So this is gonna be a food. I am the color of rice. So what might this be? Elsa, do you wanna give us a guess? What food is the color of rice?
I don't know. White.
White? You don't know any other foods that are white, okay. Or rice noodles, right?
Yes.
Rice noodles are definitely the color of rice.
Milk.
You think milk. Boom. If you drop me, I might break.
An egg.
Balloon sheet.
It is sushi. Egg.
You think an egg? Okay. You often eat me for breakfast. So what do we think?
An egg.
You think it's an egg? All right, let's check. An egg. Finding text evidence. So let's look at some words and then we'll do some examples. So the text refers to written words that have meaning. Okay, so things that we read that have any meaning is called the text. So some synonyms for the word text are article, passage, reading, selection, and excerpt. Have you guys seen these words on your tests? When you have to read something and then it asks, and then you have questions after? Right? It says, which word from the passage means this? Or which word from the selection means this? All that means, and these are all words that mean the same thing, right? So all of them, all it means is the written words that have meaning. So the answers we are searching for are called the text evidence. Okay, so another word for text evidence is proof, details, and support. We find text evidence as proof that our answers are correct. So when you have read something and then you're answering a question about it, you need to use text evidence. You need to go back to whatever text that you read and you need to find your answers in that text. When you've done the comprehension for homework, have I made you write the page number next to the question or next to the answer? Do you remember me doing this? Very good. So now I didn't want you to just guess the answer. I wanted you to go back and check in the story and find text evidence. Okay, find in the story where it said that answer, right? So we're gonna practice that today. So we're just gonna look at some paragraphs and we're just gonna highlight where we have found the answer, okay? The dragonflies have been around for millions of years. Prehistoric dragonflies were a bit larger than dragonflies today. They were the size of seagulls and their wingspan was 2.5 feet across. So our question is, how big were dragonflies in prehistoric times? An answer in your own words. I want you to read exactly what you see in the paragraph. So.
They were the size of seagulls and their wingspan was 2.5 feet across.
Okay, so this is our text evidence here. They were the size of seagull across. So that is the text evidence that tells the answer to that question. There are about 5,000 different species of modern dragonflies. They can be found around the world in warm climates. Dragonflies lay their eggs on or near the water, so they live near rivers, ponds, lakes, and wetlands. Who can tell us the text evidence for the question, why do dragonflies live near water?
Because dragonflies lay their egg on or near the water. So they live near rivers, ponds, lakes, and wetlands.
Very good. Since a dragonfly is an insect, it has 6 legs and 3 main body parts, a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Unlike flies and mosquitoes, which have 2 wings, dragonflies have 4 wings. Their wings are long and transparent. They can move each pair of wings separately or simultaneously. They can hover in one place and even fly backwards. They are also some of the fastest flying insects in the world, flying at about 30 miles per hour. Dragonflies can be a variety of colors, from white to green to red, yellow, or blue. So how many wings does a dragonfly have? Who can tell me in the paragraph? What did we read?
Dragonflies have 4 wings.
Okay, so that is our text evidence. We'll have 3 more and then we'll do something different. All right, you can read the paragraph on your own, the number 4, and then I want everyone to, I'll enable annotation and highlight where it says how much of a dragonfly's brain is devoted to vision. Read me the sentence that answers the question.
Scientists have found that 80% of a dragonfly's brain is devoted to vision.
Okay, scientists have found that 80% of a dragonfly's brain is devoted to vision. Very good. 5. Dragonflies are carnivores and like to eat tiny insects like flies, midges, gnats, mosquitoes, bees, and butterflies. They catch their prey in the air while flying. To catch their prey, dragonflies use their legs to create a basket. They swoop in to catch their prey and hold it in place with their legs. Then they often eat their prey while still flying. Dragonfly predators include reptiles like lizards, ducks, frogs, and toads, fish, and small mammals. So, what do dragonflies eat? Who can tell me the text evidence that tells us what dragonflies eat? Maggie, can you tell us?
Dragonflies are carnivores and like to eat tiny insects like flies, midges, gnats, mosquitoes, bees, and butterflies.
Okay, very good. One more question. Which animals are predators of dragonflies?
Dragonfly predators include reptiles like lizards, ducks, frogs, and toads, fish, and small mammals.
Okay, very good. Okay, so all it is we're just going back to the paragraph and figuring out where the selection or the text tells us the answer. How many stages are in a dragon's life cycle?
There are 4 stages, like the butterfly. Dragonflies have 3 stages, and an adult.
Dragonflies have 3 stages: egg, nymph, and adults. Good. Last one. How often does a nymph molt? So who can answer? Who has found this answer?
They molt 15 times. As the nymph grow, they molt shed their skin about 15 times.
Okay, good job. Now that we've gone over how to find text evidence, we need to review how to use text evidence when you are writing or answering a question. Okay, so using text evidence. When answering a question, you need to show that you've used the evidence from a text in your answer. Okay, so if I ask the question, how many stages are in a dragonfly's life cycle? I don't want you to just answer directly. I don't want you to just say, there are 3 stages. Okay, you need to tell me or tell in your paragraph, how did you come up with that answer? Okay, where did you get that answer from? So how you do that, we have a few different sentence starters. So you can say things like, according to the text shows, based on the reading, and the author said that. So these 4 sentence starters are going to tell whoever's reading your paragraph or your essay that, yes, I read the text, and this is the answer that I got from the text. I didn't make this up. I got it from whatever I was reading. Does that make sense? How big were dragonflies in prehistoric times? So we've already found our answer, right? They were the size of seagulls, and their wingspan was 2.5 feet across. But now if we want to go ahead and answer, let's use the sentence starter according to the text. So I'm going to write my answer like, according to the text, dragonflies were the size of seagulls, and their wingspan was 2.5 feet across in prehistoric times. So in my answer, I've shown that I've gotten it from the text, okay? Then I have used what I read. And then I've also made sure to include words from the question. I know that the question's asking about prehistoric times. So I want to make sure I include that information. Does that make sense to everyone? Look at our next one. Why do dragonflies live near water? So we've already discovered that dragonflies lay their eggs on or near the water, so they live near rivers, ponds, lakes, and wetlands. Sierra, do you have an answer for us?
The text shows that dragonflies live near water because they lay their eggs on or near the water.
Okay, so the text shows that dragonflies live near water because they lay their eggs on or near water. Good job, Sierra. A dragonfly has 2 very large, how much of a dragonfly's brain is devoted to vision?
Based on reading, scientists have found that 80% of a dragonfly's brain is devoted to vision.
Okay, Based on the reading, scientists have found that 80% of a dragonfly's brain is devoted to vision. Good job. Okay, that is how we use text evidence in an answer. Good job. 300, what category?
The details.
Details? Okay. If I were answering the question, why does Mark want to visit Mexico? Which is an important detail? A, Mark is a sophomore in high school. B, Mark studied Mexico in school last month. Or C, Mark hears his mother talk about Mexico and wishes he could see for himself. So which detail supports the fact that Mark wants to go visit Mexico?
C. Mark
C?
hears his mom talk about Mexico and wish he could see for himself.
Okay, let's see. Good job. All right, you're team 1 and you have 300 points. Good job. Okay, who's your team 2? So choose one.
Who am I? 200.
Okay, let's look. I put on my white shirt and began chopping carrots. Behind me is a pot of boiling broth. I choose some nice herbs and chop them into place into the soup. When it is done, I pour a bowl of hot soup and hand it to the waiter. Who am I?
A chef.
A chef? All right, let's... Okay, good job. You have 200 points. Which category? Text evidence. All right, let's see. Kate stared at the giant parking lot. She couldn't remember where she parked her car. This happened every time she went to the mall. Where could it be? She said. I thought it would be right here. She sat down on the ground and began to frown. What detail from the text tells you how she feels?
She sat down on the ground and began to frown.
All right, let's check. Good job. Okay, you are team 1, so you have 700 points.
500. Who am I?
Who am I for 500? I travel with elephants. I'm surrounded by bright colors. I perform in a tent. I like heights. People look up when they watch me and are nervous when they see me. My job is to walk very carefully across something. Who am I?
A man in the circus.
Okay, let's see. That is, yep, we can say tightrope walker, circus performer. Good job. What are you, team 2?
Yes.
Okay, 700 points. It's tied. All right, you are team 1.
Who am I?
How much?
100.
100. Shimai, I wear a white lab coat. I work with chemicals. Who am I?
Scientist.
Okay, good job. What did I say? Team 1, right? Okay. Dino, are you ready? Choose one.
Important detail. 500.
Okay. If I were answering the question, how should a new student act on the first day of school at Burton? Which is an important detail. A, Burton is in Glendale, Arizona. B, kids at Burton appreciate a person who is kind and friendly. Or C, you should have all of your information, phone number, address, etc., ready when you come to register at Burton.
I think C.
You think C?